Good to see you. And so today we delve into a very, very new topic. It's going to be an amazing, amazing show. We talk about the untold truths about leadership. What wanaona Mhesh anajua manze Mhesh lazima atoboke. Mhesh has to give some money. So we want to understand what does being a leader mean? What does it entail? So it is good to see you. My name is Pastor Chege right here at PCA Thome. It is good to see you. It's a joy. Remember to subscribe to the PCA Thome online so that we get these messages to many, many more people. We appreciate you, those who watch us from here and far, even beyond our borders. We always appreciate, we see you, and we are grateful because of the support you give us. So let me introduce my guest, who you have been able to see. So I want to tell him to welcome you, at least mjue mko home. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yes.
So again, my name is Kanja. Hapa ni Risambo. Thome PCA is in Risambo. So I think I'm in the right place.
Absolutely.
And they say charity begins at home.
Absolutely.
And thank you very much for beginning this interview with me at home.
I know. Muhimu, vile inafaa. Najua ito sawa vile inafaa.
Vile inafaa.
So absolutely, that's where we are. And so let's demystify this thing called leadership. You see, when tulikuwa nayo kule Murang'a in school, and in school there used to be Dr. Gonye coming, and all these other great speakers who used to come. So when they come, you see a table when we have the boat, wanaekewa soda na maji. So hiyo kagitheri kametuchapa.
Maji ya bwana.
Yes. So in our minds, people start to imagine being a leader is kukunywa soda na maji. It's privilege. It's looking good. And so that's the reason why you go to some of these government offices, you can wait in that line. The person who is in the office is seated down, has no one, ni gazeti anasoma. There is a line of 15 people. But we will read gazeti. Then, makosa tu ikuwe ni 1 p.m. When ni lunchtime. Lunchtime, serikali tunafunga. So you get that because of the concept of a leader is privilege. A leader is just getting good things, which they come. There are perks that come. But a leader is more than the perks. In fact, let's define leadership. How can you define leadership?
How can I define leadership? Let me move away from the dictionary and the universal definition of leadership. Let me come to my Madhogodhanyo definition of leadership. For me, leadership is offer. It's just an offer. It's to offer that which is lacking in terms of point persons. You get? If I have a group of 100 youth here, right? And they have an issue. Who is the best person? Who is the key person that can bring together personnel? Who is this person that can be able to bring together resources? Who is this person that is willing to even go to the extent of sacrificing their time and sometimes even resources for the benefit of the many? There are things that make people happy. One of those things, or things that define people, one of those things is called altruism. Altruism, Chege, is gaining pleasure, ama satisfaction from making other people happy. And for me, that is leadership. For me, that is leadership. If by making other people satisfied, comfortable, within the confines of any context, right? Any context that is good, for me, that is leadership.
Absolutely. Now, our topic suggests the untold truths.
The untold truths.
Because indeed they are there.
They are.
And you see, as I alluded, there are some things that we just see and presume. One of the presumptions that are there is that Mheshimiwas are rich. And now we will go to a very practical example. You see, you are leading a very populated area called Risambo.
Yes.
And so the notion has been For me to be elected in Kenya, I will pay and bribe my way to the seat. But to my assumption, you will confirm, you cannot bribe enough in Roysambu.
Never.
If bribing is your plan, you might never bribe enough. But you were involved in the campaigns, and you were effectively elected. Your team was effectively elected. Tell us about it. This fallacy of I need to bribe everyone to get the votes. Demystify it. Tell us about it. Because Roysambu is one of the areas truly that is assumed that lazima uwe bazu. Tell us about it.
Let me put this question into context. And let me bring it to Roysambu, the context of Roysambu. I am privileged to say that we have an elite population in terms of education in Roysambu, not in terms of money, in terms of education, in terms of political awareness in Roysambu. Roysambu is one of the only 2 wards in Nairobi out of 85. Roysambu is one of the only 2 wards in Nairobi that has an independent MCA who was elected, right? There was a candidate from UDA, there was a candidate from Azimio, there were other independent candidates and others from other political parties, but it is only Roysambu, one of the 2, that has an independent MCA. It is only in Roysambu where you will find that the MP who was elected for Roysambu constituency is from UDA, you know, the one who garnered the most votes. The one for the senator seat, it is an Azimio candidate. It is an Azimio candidate who garnered the most votes, right?
Gubernatorial,
it was Kanja who garnered, I think he garnered 63,000 votes. They were the most, by the way, in the whole of Nairobi. It is Roysambu.
Though his UDA-ship is controversial.
It was not even about UDA. When you come to
so it's personal.
It's not even about UDA. For Roysambu, we have had a big problem with environmental conservation, garbage. We have had a big problem in terms of noise pollution, clubs, mushrooming of bars and wines and spirits and these kinds of noise everywhere. And the previous leadership was unable to even assist even an inch. You see? So our votes were not put in a basket of political riddance. No, it was very informed. That is why you will find the people of Roysambu gave more votes to Senator Edwin Sifuna, for instance, who is not from UDA. The people of Roysambu elected an MCA who was independent. So these are not people whose opinion is shaped by a political bus. For us, political buses are like old jalopy matatus. They keep us busy, but they don't take us nowhere. And we have understood that concept. So for us, we look at a leader holistically. What have you done before? What have you been doing? Between the last year and now? And what are you telling us you will do? Is it practical? Is it involving? Is it capital intensive? How operational will it be? We get? But there are some things once you get into government, cheke, now you start to realize the insights, the practical ground. Mambo imeweza kukua ngumu. For instance, my MCA, Honorable Sospita Githa Umombi, receives a salary of 144,000. 144,000.
That's in the public, so it's not any secret.
No, it's actually something that he has even posted in his Facebook page. You can actually go and look at even how the salary is distributed. 144,000 for a Mheshimiwa Chege, for someone who must buy lunch, so to say, for someone who you come to when your child is sent home for school fees. This is the person.
Every Harambe, jina ya kwanza ni hiyo.
In fact, for us, we have decided we will not go to Harambes. We will not go to Harambes because it's either you go to all
or none.
Or you go to none. And you cannot go to all Harambes. We have over 150 churches in Roysambu, what Chege. Can you satisfy Harambes arranged even by a half of these churches, 75 of them? You cannot. You cannot. So Chege unapata, in our office, for instance, we have a secretary who records issues on a daily basis. And sometimes I'll come with this book. Uone hizi vitu. We do not lack requests for medicine, requests for school fees, requests for books, requests for mheshimiwa nilipie x-ray, niliandikiwa pale niangaliwe mfupa imeangalia nyuma. Mheshimiwa nilienda nikafanyiwa CS, I have an infection, I need to go back to hospital, bill imefika 200,000. Mheshimiwa watoto wangu ni wawili, nimeng'ang'ana, tukauza kambuzi pale, moja amerudi, lakini huyu mwingine amebakisha 25,000. Ukinipatia hata kama ni kitu, we tafuta tu, yani atarudi, shule itamkubali. You get? Mheshimiwa mimi sijakula. Mimi watoto wangu, and the moment you use the word watoto wangu, that of course is emotional in itself. Mheshimiwa watoto wangu wajakula, ndio hawa amekuja nao kwa ofisi, ndio hawa, and you look at those
usiwatafute, tuko nao hapa.
Huyu huwezi mwambia ati we don't have a kitty that deals with such
with feeding the community.
You won't tell huyu mtu mwenye amekuja na infection that you do not have a medical kit in our office. Sijui atienda ukalipe NHIF.
And you might be the only hope.
You are the only hope. That's why they are here. Huyu mtu anakuja na kuambia we held Harambee last year June 26th na familia. Tukachanga hii, tukaenda hospitali imeisha. Mheshimiwa nilifungiwa nyumba, nilitoka naishi na dadangu kwa sababu ya hii ugonjwa. Nilienda nilikatwa hii kidole kwa sababu sasa tuliona the cancer is eating up. Nilikatwa hii kidole na sasa imeanza kuenea huku, na saidia niende nipate hii medicine hapa. You cannot turn these people away, shege. And sometimes I look at how our MCA does these things and the number of requests that are provided to us on a daily basis and the extent, the degree of need in these requests. And sometimes I say, mimi hata sitawaitaka hii kiti. Sitaki shege. Because if you do not deal with these issues and conclusively so, you have failed that person.
Because you have a first-hand experience of what's happening.
Exactly. Chege, I have an office impressed. Nairobi County gives ward managers an office imprest of about 109,000. And this office imprest is supposed to buy tea, for staff. Myself, the secretary, the PA, mheshimiwa is around. If you have a guest, mzazi amekuja, we should have some tea in the office, eh?
Just basic hospitality.
Mtu asikuja hapo anakuambia chakula siku 3, wewe unaanza kumtuma. My office is at Garden State. The nearest shop is in Roasters. The nearest hotel is in Roasters. Atembee hiyo distance yote aende kwanza katafuta chakula. You should have some tea, You should have some drinking chocolate there, kama saa hii baridi ni mingi. But that is not how we use our office imprest. I can tell you for a fact, most of our office imprest, Chege, goes back to community.
Imekuwa part of MCA fund.
That is no MCA fund. That's the point.
Yes.
That's the whole
thing.
The whole point.
So MCA fund ni mshahara MCA.
Oh, the mshahara MCA. So 144,000. And Chege, I can tell you, for the month of which figures do I remember very correctly? For the month of March, the requests that were brought to our office were in excess of 300,000 shillings. Na hiyo,
that's much only.
Na hiyo umetoa zile high end requests, zile requests za hospital bill ya 1 million. Kuna mtu ana hospital bill ya 1 million.
Hiyo umeweka tu kando.
Umeweka kando. Hiyo tuiteni Harambee za chache. Unaabudu wapi? Isiedhome. Okay, let's talk to the pastor. Mko na mpango ya Harambee hapa? Okay, sasa hii nitatumana.
So now the 300,000 is now
hizo tumeweka kando. Hii 300,000 ni ya trifles. Hizi ya 1,000 shillings. Ninakuanga na biashara ya mahindi na ilianguka nibaie stock ya 2,000 shillings. Twende nibaie hata taki pesa huyu mtu. Twende nibaie stock. Mtoto wangu alifukuzwa, mtoto ameletwa kwa ofisi. When you look at the shot, you can put G this side and T this side.
Hold it there, because now I'm saying if we start going to the issues,
but you get the point.
I'm getting it. But I want us to now look at it from this point. You see, if we're talking about the issues of the constituents,
yes,
probably by then we had a notion that they are there. But now you've showed us practically that they're immense.
And you know the problem, Jay?
Yes.
The problem with this
Yes.
is that because most waheshimiwas don't know how to say no. Most waheshimiwas are not innovative. They will not go out of their ways to fundraise. Anatuita fundraiser na tulimchagua wewe niki you want to look macho masisio mama idho twite amana it won't work because these waheshimiwas will fall shy of fundraising. They will fall shy of bringing on board stakeholders. What do? Kama kuna kabarabara amepewa ya ward development project ama amepewa pale kwa county kabarabara ya 1.2 kilometers ama 500 meters na ameandikiwa chukua 23 million. Initially it was 17 million. Right now they're being given 23 million ya infrastructural development pa year. You got 23,000. What this mheshimiwa will do is
23 million,
23 million. Kama huyu mtu unafaa kwenda kutengeneza kabarabara kwa informal settlement, isaidie watu wa kule ndani kule, huyu mtu hatafanya hivyo. Hata tengeneza barabara hapo, atakuja huko kwa wadosi, ataingia Ridgeways, ataingia Thome, ataingia Muthaiga, atakaa chini na wao waambie sasa pale kwenu pale niliona hakuna nini na niko na 400 meters. Sasa si utafute hii project ni ya 23 million. Simu nitafutie 1 million, nitoe kule nilifaa kwenda, nilete hapa. Because they have that power. Because they have prerogative power where the development will go. Give priority areas. They have that power. So that's why saa zingine ukiingia in some of these estates, their roads are very nice.
Inaingia rami mpaka kwa mlango.
And they are serving a maximum of say 50 families. You go now to a village like Marurui, a village like TRM, serving 30,000, 40,000 individuals, no single tarmac road. So wanakuja na hizi projects, wanauza. So that they get now this kickback of $1 million
To get them going.
They go now to the contractor, where contractor sasa ni sukumie pale, yako ndio tenda ingie, utarusha ngapi? To 1.2. Sasa na hesabu hiyo ni 2.2 Sasa najua now for this kupeana ya hospitali 5,000, 3,000 niko na. But that is not what we should do. That is not what we should be doing, Chege. That is not what we should be doing.
We need to change.
Because if you do that, informal settlements watapata barabara zao lini.
And that's why the need is
That is what huge. Need is very huge there.
Hawa hata wakichanga wanaweza jitengenezea.
We lack leadership there. What we are getting, hiyo sasa ndio unauliza the inward operations. Watu wanatoa pesa huko juu, hakuna mshahara, hakuna kiti. They don't have a kitty like an MP has a kitty, an NGCDF kitty. Anaweza toa hapo aweke kwa barabara kidogo, atoe hapa ike kwa environment, atoe hapa abeane basari bane, hata anaweza decide basari nitapeana 50 million this time ama 100 million next time.
Wow.
But MCs don't.
Leo watu wangu bana wamepata insights of leadership and the government. But you see now, one thing you put so clear, the MCs are in trouble. And of course, they've been raising it, but of course, wameambiwa gojeni, which we understand because, of course, there are so many other issues that we are dealing with. But now let's come there, because indeed we are saying, by the time MCA even reaches a point he wants to post, he's trying to prove, there's a message he's sending that I'm not fine.
I'm not.
Or rather, you're even saying, you're not in the seat, but you're saying, if this is how vitu zinaenda, no. So my point now comes here. Because today we're talking about the untold truths. And indeed, you've given us the untold.
Yeah.
No one says these things. Of course, that's what happens. Of course, we need to talk about these things. Because kuna mtu alali akuwe MCA next.
Lala bro.
Ajui hata wa ilala tena. Hata hai alali.
Lala.
Sasa hiyo wakati hata lala. But now let's come to this. What happens when a leader is leading while they are bleeding? So maybe families in shambles. We have seen MCAs heal their families. We have seen MPs shoot people. People have messed up. We have seen governors, their families have issues. You know, where do we come now and say this leader is a human being? Because we look at leaders are asked all manner of questions. They are asked about the car. They become even the engineers who are barabara. Not really engineering. But you're expected to know what everything that happens in, actuarial designs, in civil engineering and all these things. Even people who have not studied economy
are being called
like you.
interviews. They are
Kuongea mambo ya finance bill. Na alikuwa anauza nyama ndiye akakuwa MP. Ameitwa kuongea mambo ya finance bill. Let's talk about the leader while bleeding and the leader as a human being?
Leaders, Mimi, I can tell them, because I know some of them will be watching and aspiring leaders might be watching. I'm not a very old man, so I don't think I qualify to give advice. I think it is within the Kenyan traditions that advice can only come from experienced, white-haired, expressively speaking people. But I can tell you one thing. Live your truth. That is something my MCA keeps telling me day in, day out. Live your truth. Live your truth. Usiende kujenga jina mahali wale tinasema wewe tulia. Live your truth.
You're not competing with anybody.
At the end of the day, we will judge you by the capital projects that we can see rather than the handouts that you have given. She will never be able to give everybody a handout. You will never be able to give everybody a handout. Utaweza kununulia kila mtu chakula. Tuseme usinunue. Where you're an MCA,
Paka serikali inashindwa.
Nunua mahali there's that degree of need, eh?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we want to know, huyu jamaa hii miaka 4 amekuwa hapa 5. Tuonyeshe siwa amejenga. Hapana, nionyeshe siwa.
I know. Hii barabara miaka yote.
Hii barabara imekaa hivi na tulikuchagua tukidhani ni mambo itabadilika. Wewe umefanya nini?
Maji is another one. Big one.
Tulikuwa tunapata maji mara 2 kwa wiki, sasa ni mara 1.
Yes.
Alafu unatuambia dakika 4 dakika 4 wewe dakawe. You get. We will judge you at the end of the day by the capital projects that you have done.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do not allow okay, it's good to give focus on the aid, but focus on the in the long run. And borrow from this guy called William Samoei Ruto. Hate him, love him, despise him, but give to him what is his. William Ruto is looking way into the future. Right? Tufinike sahi kidogo, lakini tumepata exempted tax-free fertilizer, tax-free farming inputs. So, God willing, tupate mvua kidogo. Do you think the price of unga will be the same after the rains? Right? Do you think utanunua unga 200 after tumepata mvua na tumeharvest? Of course it will come down, right? Because we'll have excess. What can you do as an MCA, as an MP, as a village elder, as a church elder, at your position? Live within your means. It's that simple. Be sincere to yourself and be sincere to God. Hiyo tu.
Hold it. After that, be sincere to yourself. Be sincere to God.
Yes.
Gabu, it cannot get better than this. What a talk. What a time. What a show. What a moment it's been. Thank you. If you've been able to follow the series by the way, tumeongea mambo ya economy na reality, tumeongea mambo ya leadership. Follow through. Enda nyuma kama hujaona zote manze. This one is heated. Mambo imechemka. We need you back, bro. We need to talk about more other topics. But this was amazing. It is good that we talk about this. They say that things go wrong when the good people keep quiet. Let's talk. Let's point out the issues and look for solutions. We've said a leader is not just for privileges and looking good. It's about getting innovative, practical solutions. Good to see you. Until next time, I'm your host, Chege. It is good to see you. Bye-bye.